My name is John Passfield, and I'm going to read from my novel, Eleonora Duse, Let Me Have My Wings. The title of this reading will be Eleonora Duse, Video 3, Duse and D'Annunzio, Part 1, and there will be a second video covering the second half of that relationship. Here's the, here's the cover. Oh, I dropped something, but it's okay. Eleonora Duse, Let Me Have My Wings, a novel by John Passfield. That's a photograph of the historical Eleonora Duse, which I'll come back to in a moment. Here's the summary on the back of the novel as well. Eleonora Duse spent her whole career producing, directing, and acting in the great female roles of the theatrical repertoire. She claims that when she's not on stage, she does not exist. A poet publishes a novel in which an aging actress's only role is to be a young poet's muse. The publication of the novel is a crisis for Duse as the fictional portrait of a pathetic, clinging female threatens to fill the void and become her personal myth in the public mind. But her greatest fear is that the imagery of the poet's book will alter the way she thinks of herself. I'm going to hold the cover up while I read this, because I want you to look at the photograph. Cover illustration. I placed a note on the back of the title page, which reads as follows. Cover illustration. A photograph of Eleonora Duse in Venice in 1894, when she was 36 years old. She met the poet Gabriele D'Annunzio in 1895. That's just a year later, after the photograph was taken, when she was 37 and he was 32. So there's 5 years between them, she 5 years older than he. The relationship is tragic if we take the tragic curve to mean a great rise to ideal heights, followed by a great fall to unimaginable depths. The poet D'Annunzio is a character in this novel, but he is not a character who is created by a narrator. He is a character who is created by a character. All of the imagery that I will read in both these videos, this reading of the rise of a relationship and another video of the fall of the relationship, is imagery in the mind of the main character of this novel, Eleonora Duse. Well, let's look at the rise of that relationship. We'll go to chapter 5, page 35. And it's not true in all the chapters of the novel. In this chapter, the relationship is all one scene. So here it is. There are 8 images in her mind, interlayered with other images. There are about 50 images in this chapter, 8 of which are about her relationship with the poet. And those images are interacting, commenting on one another, which you don't get in a reading where I isolate only the images of one topic. But here we are. The poet has something that he wishes to tell me. He's almost handsome in the glow of the torches along the canal. He wants to make a confession. He leans closer after glancing at the gondolier and leaving out 5 or 6 images. He had always planned to meet me. He knew me by reputation and attended one of my plays. He watched me play Marguerite when I was in Rome. Why did you not come backstage? Oh, I tried, but there was a guard who barred the door. And further down the page, leaving out 4 or 5 more images. I bided my time to see you again, he says. I wrote my poems and I followed your career. You are the great Italian mystery. There was no knowledge of your personal life. You were truly a woman who only lived on the stage. Then we go for about a page and a half of other imagery, which I'm not reading now. To me, you are the embodiment of the present and the past. You are the actress who makes the classics come alive. What is the secret, if I might ask? I've had some success as a poet, as a novelist of some note, but I could never hope to write as well as you act. The night is cold. There's only one blanket to share. Then we go past a few more pages of imagery and come back to the gondola ride. I tell him my personal life is nondescript. It has no bearing at all. I give everything I have to my art, to the stage. When I'm not on stage, I do not exist, I say. And then, again, leaving out another page of imagery on other topics. But you are a poet who's gaining in national prominence. I have read some of your poems, excuse me, clear my throat here, and one of your novels as well. You are imaginative in the extreme. I would much rather hear a little bit more about you. Then again, moving on to the 7th image unit in 50 image units, 7 image units about this gondola ride. I have confessed that I wanted to meet you. I had hopes that you would inspire me to write a play. His eyes sparkle with inner vision. He is a man of exciting ideas. We share a candlelight dinner in a small cafe. And then the last image of this gondola ride. The gondola glides to the dock. We have finished our gondola ride. The night is not so young, but there's plenty left to say. I sense it now is not the time to end our talk. Oh, this is the entrance to my apartment. Would you like to come inside? I don't often entertain visitors, but I'm sure I can manage to offer a glass of wine. So that's chapter 5, the first meeting. The very next image is the first in chapter 6. I'll only read 2 images of chapter 6, so I'm leaving out a lot of images, not only of Duse's life without D'Annunzio and her accomplishments, but I'm leaving out images of this relationship. Just to keep the video, excuse me, my voice is foggy this morning, just to keep the video to a reasonable length. Our souls touched last night. We didn't touch hands, we didn't touch lips, we merely touched eyes. We share the same hopes, the same dreams, the same ideals. We want the same things for art, for the drama, for Italy. We formed a partnership, he to write, me to act, to resuscitate and revive, to engender and renew, to revivify and redeem. We shall bring life to the dormant dreams that repose in our souls. That's page 43. I'm going to go way over to page 47, well, 4 pages later, and read another image of this rising relationship, rising to an ideal level. I cannot believe the energy that he is releasing in me. Until now, I was working strictly on my own. I've had partners in the theater many times before, but never a creative partner. Not a partner who shares my mind, who shares my soul. They were the ones to handle the money and pay the bills. He is the one to write the words that I will say. We will do great things together, he and I. Then we'll move into chapter 7, page 51. More imagery in this rising relationship, rising to an ideal height. We are in love and we are creative. We are the embodiment of our age. From we two, thousands of people will take their cue. They will look to us for leadership, a new kind of play, a new kind of stage, a new kind of woman who is not a statue or a drab. We are a couple who know what a relationship should be. My love is eager to dip his pen and fill the page. And we go from page 51 to 53. I stand at an open window. The breeze is fresh and cool. I tell him of the roles I should like to play. A blending of Ibsen and Shakespeare. I tell him I don't like Dumas and Sardou. Madame Camellia is a tired old workhorse. She is Sarah's kind of play. I'm an actress, not a costume. I don't wear makeup. I don't wear wigs. Let's show the humanity in these women of yesteryear. Well, the rest of the novel tells you that Sarah is Sarah Bernhardt, her great rival. We then go to another image, leaving out many images that are not about this relationship. Whoops, let me find it here. My love and I share a single goal. He tells me of his dreams. They are an echo of my own, to dive deep down into the core of one's own self and one's own people, to grasp the pearl that lies on the ocean floor, to present that pearl as a work of imperishable art. Yes, yes, that is what I've been yearning for, what has inspired me all of my life. That is what I want to do with you. Together we shall dive from the highest cliff. And then one more image on this topic. We shall build an Italian theater. It shall be more grand than the theater at Beirut. All of Europe shall come to the opening nights of our plays. Kings and queens will come to pay homage. The plays will shine like beacons in the dark. Every actress will stand in line to play these parts. This is the dawning of a whole new era, a whole new life. Well, that's all I'm going to read in this video from the rising relationship of these two people, the actress Eleonora Duse and the 5 years younger poet, now a playwright, Gabriele D'Annunzio. Let me read a note here on this topic. We create other people in our minds. No matter how well we know them, we are forced to reduce the unimaginable complexity of the typical human being to a handful of images that we consider to be significant. We are not under oath in this process, of course, but we are often sincere in our attempts to evaluate other people's influences on our thoughts and our behaviors as representatives of forces in our lives, forces that have advanced or retarded what we perceive to be our best interests. We do this so we can avoid or at least minimize the presence and influence of people in our lives who represent negative forces in terms of our own well-being. And we also maximize as much as possible the presence and influence of people in our lives who represent positive forces in terms of our own well-being. Sometimes we see the same person as a representative of both forces, the negative and the positive, in our lives, though at different times. Our novels and films are full of characters who see other characters as a negative force and then a positive force in their lives. This is called a reconciliation plot or a redemption plot or a recognition plot. Of course, the conclusion as to whether the plot of this novel fits that pattern must await your viewing of the second video or a reading of the novel before you can decide. And in light of the fact that people in actual life, and therefore characters in novels, can be fooled, should I ask whether novels ever present false reconciliations? Or would this be outside the rules of the literary game? Now, again, the novel is Eleonora Duse, Let Me Have My Wings, a novel by John Passfield. It's on Amazon. You can have a look there for more information. Rocks Mills Press, ROCKSMILLSPRESS is my publisher. There's more information there. On my website, 2 books, a planning notebook in which I plan and write the novel and deal with all the problems I encounter and the solutions I come up with, and a journal in which I reflect on the rough draft of 50,000 words that I'm polishing. So lots about novel writing there at johnpassfield.ca, johnpassfield.ca. Just click on the icon and it's yours for free access. And lastly, I'll just say thank you for watching this video.